In my Patreon, I get asked this question an awful lot. What would I do if I was starting again? This will give you a good perspective as a beginner, certainly if it's your first full cycle, or if you are just coming in right now and you are brand new to the space. This will give you a lot of detail. Traditionally, as an investor, you make money work for you over time. You invest, you compound that investment, and you grow it over time. Cryptocurrency allows you to do that in a much, much faster time. Yes, you can get rich of a small amount in crypto versus what you would do in the traditional stock market. So even today, this is how I approach my portfolio. This video will outline everything in terms of how to do it properly, how to get risk-free, where to split up your bag and have a bit of fun with it. And yeah, there's a good blend. This will certainly help you. So if you like this sort of content, please do leave a like. Let's get over 1,000 likes again, because that seems to be the benchmark, and we will get right into this. So before we go balls deep into the world of crypto, we need to talk about the obvious element of compounding interest and understanding how wealth creates wealth over time. And so basically you invest, you put money into something, it will get a dividend or interest or staking rewards like crypto, and you can keep reinvesting, that grows over time. So if you are putting, say, $100 every single week into the stock market, over a period of 20 years, you've got a lot of money. If that is developed dividends and it auto compounds, you're going to make even more money over time. Crypto is the same thing. We're going to talk about persevering with the bear markets, market cycles and all that kind of stuff, but understanding the core principle of doing it, basically, right? So let's talk about something really simple. The bear market perseverance is the element of, well, essentially when confidence is low, price is falling, and supply is, obviously greater than demand, it's a time to buy, right? So when we're talking about market principles of like, this is how to invest, you need to buy when the market is low, and over time you've got a good position, so then you can take profit on the upside and you can compound your returns. That's a little bit different, right? What do I mean by this? Buy low, sell high, rebuy back low, you get even more tokens for free. When it goes up again and matures in price, you have more money, and then over time, cycle, you create wealth. But there's a few other little caveats to this, because when you become an investor, certainly in the world of crypto here, it becomes a way of life. That's how I look at it, right? If you are an investor, you've got to treat it like a genuine thing. Like growing a plant or a tree or looking after a puppy. Get the idea. So you can see here, right? Investing is an efficient way to have your money work for you and build wealth. Just replace words like crypto, etc. Right? You get the idea. But the last question is more I'm interested in. But investing your money allows it to grow over time with the benefit of compounding and long-term growth. Cryptocurrency enables you to have that fast, very fast. When I look at my portfolio, and you've all seen my story from 2016, putting like a couple of grand in, not much, to where I am today, that would not happen in a million of years if I did that in the stock market. Yes, don't get me wrong, the S&P 500 since that time period has gone up massively, but not in the same strength. Make sense? Good. So now I've got the boring bit out of the way. This is what you need to consider when starting again, right? So if I'm starting again right now, what would I do, right? We need to talk about one core principle before we get into that part, sorry. But most people forget this part, and this is the bit that baffles me. You will invest, you will buy shitcoins, you will do this, you'll do that, but you'll never secure the bag to enable growth. Going back to the previous bit, I talk about building wealth. The idea is to build wealth. If you're an investor, the idea is not to put money into shitcoins to lose wealth, it is to make money, right? I think 95% of people, certainly watching YouTube channels and all the customers that I've got through Patreon or through Learning Crypto, they've lost money because they don't understand this step. You need to actually secure the bag. This is going to be the most important part for building wealth and to start a portfolio properly. And this is the steps to it, right? Talked about it before, right? Perseverance in the bear market. If you're buying the market lows, you need to reward yourself at some point to secure the bag to then be able to rebuy back low. If you're using Bitcoin as your dominant main currency, you need to buy low, sell high, and keep holding, and just keep reinventing the wheel essentially with rebalancing what you're doing. When it's high, you sell. When it's low, you buy, right? But people don't understand that, and they go down that avenue, and I talk about it before, meme coins, and they try and think, I'm going to get rich. It's too late. Usually, when you start to see about it, it's usually too late. Let's talk about that in more detail in a sec, so don't go anywhere. However, the importance of securing the bag is vitally, vitally important, right? Because if you're not securing the bag, you are not risk-free. To be risk-free will allow you to build a nice, average, balance-ish portfolio where you can have more risk and have less risk and understand it that way. I'm going to talk about how I do it in a second so you got a good balance. But I want to get this point out there. Too many people are shit scared of taking profit in case it goes higher. No one goes broke taking profit. If you are building wealth, you've got to go from unrealized to realized, right? If you are a beginner, you need to understand that. And I know I'm going to oh, but what about tax? Well, I'd rather take profit and get taxed than not have any money at all. Also, in my Patreon, I do have like a copy portfolio that I'm doing for a bit of fun. It's called The Earner. It follows sort of principles I'm going to talk about in a second. However, that being said, this has a community, a Discord. A lot of the information in here is pretty good alpha, so you might well find some really good uncovered gems that no one is really talking about just yet on social media. So the first thing you need to consider when you are building and starting again, and this is what I would do, is you need to pick a couple of high, big, ballsy cap coins, right? Basically, you need a bit of Bitcoin, in my opinion. You need something potentially, maybe Ethereum. I personally don't have Ethereum, but you need a couple of big cap coins just to be kind of more of a safer bet. Now, this does not mean a coin that has gone up massively. It's more of network effect, right? So a big solid community, a good product, been around for a while, bit of future proof will be a good element. Bitcoin fits this perfectly, right? As I say, don't pick the biggest one with the biggest dildo, right? That doesn't work. Now, personally, this is what I would do. You need to have big cap coins to get you in the game, to understand the game, to understand the principle of investing, that money can return over time, especially in a bull market. So if you're looking at like the Bitcoin and the growth over the course of like the last 7 days, not too bad, decent metric. But over the last year, if you're looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, even BNB, Cardano, Avalanche, right? They're not bad assets. I'm not saying invest in those, but pick one or two big cap coins, because I mentioned it before, the idea is to kind of get risk-free. When you start getting profit to play with, you can start playing the riskier games. But you need to look at a balanced portfolio. And to start off your journey, you need to pick something obvious, right? Why would you go down the realms of, I don't know, Phantom Wallet and Solana or bloody Pancake Swap and going down the shitcoin avenue where realistically you've got a bigger chance of losing all your money? That's where the problem lies. People forget that step, and talked about before, you need to secure the bag, you need to have risk-free profits, you need to understand when to buy, when not to buy, and all that kind of stuff. It's all obvious to me. But if you're a beginner, you're probably looking at this thinking, but I'm not going to make any money. You will if you give it time. If you are in this space as of today and you go in 10 years in the future and you apply all these principles in this video, there's a good chance you probably will be successful. And I'm not trying to be arrogant saying that, but too many people, and I've seen too many people throughout, the last 7 years of teaching this sort of stuff, I've seen a lot of people come to me after losing all their money. So you need to get something obvious. The same in the stock market. People pick the obvious dividend safer stocks and then they branch out, right? You need to do that. Important. So, as a beginner, this is what you don't want to do. If you are going on YouTube and you're searching the best meme coins on Solana or whatever, right, in terms of meme coins, how to get rich quick, that is where your biggest problem is. What I often say to people is don't attach money to certain things. Trying to get rich quick is the worst thing to do. Trying to find the next coin that's going to do well is the worst thing to do, because there's always someone trying to promote it, right? They're obviously going to promote it on you on YouTube. You are exit liquidity, right? So when people talk about this, there's a real high chance, this doesn't always work, by the way. You can get lucky. Don't get me wrong, you can. But there's a chance that the gains have gone, or when the market really roars, then it gets to a point and it keeps on going. And then you have this feeling in your brain that it's going to keep going up forever. you will become exit liquidity, right? Now, Solana's had a great run, really, really good run. It's brought a lot of people to the game, and you can see the type of stuff that's happening. You can make meme coins very, very quickly and all that kind of stuff. The problem you got is when you are trying to look for all these little micro cap coins, there's a reason why they've been promoted, right? Yeah, it makes sense. I do not want to reveal my inbox to you in terms of what I get promoted onto. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. But that vibe is important, right? So as a beginner, you need to stop copying people. You need to start finding your own little things and ultimately stick to the obvious. Being risk-free is great, but meme coins are good if you find something that's unearthed. That's why I say in my Discord that you can find some from people, not through influencers. People find stuff. There's some people out there that are genuine good finders that don't have much of an audience, and they do well because eventually, this is where the trick is, the audience then buy it, but then it goes up in price, and then these fuckers get them, and then they push it for you, and then you ride the wave. It's great. So you need to start looking like that, not the other way around. If that makes sense, you need to be early to the party, understand the game, get in the market, get proper deep into it when you're doing that. But don't do it the other way around. So don't do it if you're looking on YouTube. Get embedded in communities. Get ratcheting on Telegram. That's how you do it, right? Another one as well, kind of obvious, is stuff like this, coins to pump. Now, these get really good views on YouTube. It's just the last chance, they're going to 15x in 90 days. How does he know that, right? It's all bollocks, right? It's all marketing. Kind of obvious. But this is what you don't want to do. As I say, it's similar to meme coins. You will fall down the rabbit hole. You'll start getting into the point. Copy signals is another one. Don't fall for those. You'll start losing money very, very quickly. You've got to be self-sufficient in the market. Certainly if you're starting again or starting to do stuff. So as a beginner, don't do this. So probably the bit that you've been waiting for. The investment blueprints, essentially, of what I do in my portfolio that works, personally works, right? And I know it works. It's already achieved me a ridiculous result already this cycle. Find coins that were released at a bad time. There you go. So what do I mean by this? There's a lot of people, certainly in the marketing space of YouTube and other educators, that preach something that I massively disagree with. A lot of people believe that new coins are the ones that will pump more in a bull market. That I don't think that's true, personally. That is still risky because even on like public sales, pre-sales, private sales, whatever, some of them are duds. The majority of them are rugs. Most of them are there just to make the team wealthy. So people go, oh, you should be buying these brand new shiny coins. They do well. Not always. Definitely not always. What you need to find is a coin that survives a bear market, has a bit of kit and technology and a live product that has never seen the light of day because the market's shit, right? That is a blueprint. So let me example you with this one. Last cycle, I invested in Zilliqa. You probably remember if you're an old school kind of mobster fan. Now, why did I invest in Zilliqa? It wasn't because it was the best thing since sliced bread at the time. It fucking wasn't. It was on the floor. If you just looked at the price, it was on the floor. Now, I would not recommend investing in Zilliqa, by the way, just saying that right now. But at the time, in 2020, this had a bear market release. It came out in February, basically, and 2018, melted to the floor, but the technology was really good, and I always had an eye on it thinking, you know what, the technology here is really good. Let's forget the part there where they sacked the team 3 times and they've gone on an absolute weird kind of trail. Let's ignore that part. But before that, it made me a decent chunk of money because I bought an asset that came out in like, obviously, February, January 18, melted all the way down to these floors, literally, and then obviously it went all the way back up. There's a lot of coins like that that are out now that are really, really good. A one you've missed is Near Protocol, right? Near Protocol is one of my biggest bags. It's rank 19 now, and this is a great example. It came out and it had a little bit of a run in the price cycle, right? But it didn't have its full technology. So this released as the market was roaring. It had a bull cycle, but the technology wasn't there. It was still developing and building. We had a bear market, and now we're like, obviously, We went right back to the lows. Now we're all the way up here. We're ranked 19 now. It's a decent asset, really good asset. There's a few others that I've also invested in. Rose is a good example too. Now, why is this a good example? Again, it came out without a fully fledged product. It had a couple of partnerships in that, but it wasn't really out there. Again, it came out right at the start of the cycle. It had a bit of a run, but it didn't really do anything amazing, realistically, right? It could still absolutely run. So it goes really, really low, and then you can buy and accumulate, but you find something with network effect that does very, very well. Good example as well is some of the parachain polka dot parachains, like Glimmer, random example, right? Came out at this is a really shit time, by the way. Obviously came out in the bear market. It went down to 55 cents. This could become a multi-billion-dollar asset. Could is a key word, but it's got network effect now. It's been developing, it's been growing. It's got the partnerships. It's not held up at all in the bear market. A-Star, another good example of this, is where it came out at a really cacky time, but you can see the return. This one's got some really nice returns considering where it came out. It came out at like these sort of levels, but look at where you could have bought in the bear market perseverance stage, right? You could have bought really nice and low. Obviously, look at how many returns it's gained. It's ridiculous, right? So this is what I adopt. I look for products that are genuinely good. The bear market, the team have been developing, but they've had zero sunlight. Some of the top quality assets that you see in this market here have came out at a really shitty time when they've just been obvious. AVAX is the final example I want to give you. AVAX was an ICO that I literally went no to, which is really annoying. Came out in this bear market time of like September 20, it was not very good. But the ICO was actually in 2019. I was like, nah. Really, really good price it was. I could have made an absolute fortune on it. I just didn't. It obviously went back up, but now look at it, right? Going back down to this, it's going to have another run. This could, eclipse its all-time high, potentially, right? Just saying. So you got to look for solid assets that have got network effect, that have had or came out at not the greatest of time without a fully operational product, where they may achieve good prices, but they actually may not achieve full maximum prices. You get the idea? Good. The final thing you need to consider is a balanced portfolio, right? Talked about big caps, talked about the blueprint in terms of getting some obvious hits. The idea is then to become risk-free and to look at maybe some more risky plays or some pre-sales. Look, I'm seeing Downmaker there. Downmaker, you can get a lot of pre-sales and stuff like that, right? Now, portfolio management is key. I recommend CoinGecko is a simple portfolio management because you can literally just split up your portfolio. Now, these are some of my principles and rules, and I will talk about them in simple terms. I've talked about it. I like to have a couple of big cap coins, then a couple of coins that were developed in the bear market. They came out at a really, really shit time. They've never seen any sunlight, and they could rise over time because they've been developing and growing a product and getting things on point in that shitty period. They're good ones, right? When you are fully risk-free and you have split up your bag, you can go down the avenue of absolute shitcoin fuckery if you want to. Providing it's risk-free, then you can convert into Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, and you grow your bag and wealth and create all that kind of good stuff, right? Now, personally, this is what I do. I do not like to have more than 10 assets at all. I just hate it. That's my opinion. Some people like to have 40, 50. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, they've got 50 portfolio assets. You're thinking, what the fuck are you doing? It's mental. I just can't get my head around it. Personally, less is more. I would rather have more of something I can manage and make more multiples at a good entry point than having multiple ones and hoping things go bang. Sometimes things go bang. The caveat to this is having a moon bag. You can have more than 10 if you've got a moon bag. What do I mean by that? Basically, if you're on the shitcoin world and the degen world, you can sell and remove your risk from that and be quite happy. Leave a moon bag in case it pops and come back to it at a later date if it's worth more, right? People don't do that. People will get really, really bogged down and it gets a bit cluttered. However, when you're talking about portfolios, right, you have a 0 to 100% kind of balance, right? You can have 40% Bitcoin, 60% altcoins, and obviously as you build that, it will obviously change as things go. My portfolio is an absolute mess at the moment with a lot of public sales and stuff like that. It's just the way it is. If they do well, it's going to be a large part of my portfolio. But don't go too crazy. Too many people do go too crazy, and it absolutely ruins your portfolio, and you have no idea what's happening. Then you start losing track of everything. You lose where you put your stuff, and it's a problem. Put it on CoinGecko. keep on top of it, and try and have a decent balance. Try and have higher percentage of big cap coins that are going to make wealth over time. Take profit into those if you so wish to. Get some good solid medium cap or low cap coins that have, as I say, developed in the bear market and, you know, grown into a beast, and they could absolutely fly in an absolute crazy bull market because they've got network effect. They've already got a built community, got a built product, they've got utility. That is where the money will start to roll there. And then you can look at the low cap, the micro cap, the meme coins, and all that kind of random plays that you can put in your portfolio, and hopefully, fingers crossed, over time in the right narrative, they will pop. But you got to be very, very careful. I only have about 8 altcoins. 8. Some people are like, what? Why? I just prefer to have that. My opinion on it. But this is what I would do starting again. Hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't given you some obvious plays for obvious reasons, but this is literally what I do. I pick the big cap coins, I sit on them. I buy some obvious plays in the bear market because they're good assets that have not really seen much price maturity, or they haven't got a fully fledged product yet. And yeah, I then diversify into some random fun plays as and when I need to. So there you go. If you like this sort of stuff, please do leave a like and check out the video that is above my head. That talks about the multiples that you can make in this bull or a bear market cycle in crypto. It massively helps.